back to room 237, and I apologize for the delay again. As you can see, things are getting crazier, but a little over 2 weeks ago now, I posted the video thanking everyone for helping room 237 reviews get to 2,000 subscribers. Excuse me, 2,000. So thank you all so much for that. And we were approaching the 1,000th video that would be uploaded. So I decided to do a Q&A. It was going to celebrate 2K subs, 1K videos. We ended up hitting the 1,000 video a little sooner. People were really on board with that too, telling me, it's been 1,000. And there's still no answers. Well, here it is now. But before I get to the answers, thank you to everyone that participated. There's not too many, I think 11 people, but it's always fun to do these. I haven't looked at these yet, so I'm curious to see what people ask. Maybe I'll do these a bit more often, or maybe every 1,000, or maybe something like that. But everyone keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate it so much. Keep hitting that like button, especially. Share, show people, help see how long it takes for us to get to 3,000. I think we're up to 2052 right now. Got about 50 subs since we hit 2,000, so that's awesome. But yeah, so thank you all so much for helping the channel get this far. And let's see what we have. So our first question comes from Ryan Leroux 10. First off, so stoked for 2K, man. Thank you, me too. You're one of my favorite creators on here, and you're by far the most consistent. Looking forward to more. Thank you so much, Ryan. Appreciate that. His question is, would you ever dabble in some more music-related videos? Really enjoyed your concert reviews as well as Iron Maiden box set review. Maybe. I thought about doing that. I think all I'd really be doing is saying what songs I liked, maybe a little bit of history about an album. The only reason why I did the concert videos was because those were big deals for me. I did do one for Slayer and Lamb of God, but Maiden has been like my #1 bucket list thing since I was 13. So that was a major thing for me. And I thought the box set was just really cool. Maybe if I come across something like that, maybe someday I'll pick like an album, talk about it. Like, I don't know, maybe start off with something like a concept album, like Pink Floyd's The Wall, which is probably still my favorite album ever made. If I do, it might be a gradual thing, but as of right now, I probably won't be doing that anytime soon. It is a good idea, though. Thank you for your question. Karato Crusader, he asked 12. Wow. First off, I'd like to start by saying congratulations once again for 2K. Thank you. Great to see your channel has grown like a tree, where you have the abundance of video content, whether it be horror, Batman, foreign, gangster, bands. People really do want me to do some more bands. Excuse me. With all that being said, here are my questions. Thank you so much. Are you a fan of shows like American Horror Story? No, but only because I haven't watched them. I have no time for TV. The only really show I picked up and watched recently would have been Ash vs. Evil Dead, and that was when the 3rd season came out. So I would like to watch American Horror Story. I know you can just pick up a season and just watch it. It's just I don't have time to dedicate to a series. Have you got a chance to check the new Chucky series? No, and I'm not going to. I'm not interested in any show like Chucky or Scream when that was on. I had no interest whatsoever. Do you like some bands or artists like Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne? Sabbath is one of my favorite bands. Not so much solo Ozzy. Love Black Sabbath. Nirvana, not as much as I used to, but yeah. The Cure, not so much. Joy Division, no. Bauhaus, yes. New Order, not so much. Cocteau Twins or Beach House, I don't really know them very well. Billie Eilish, no. Gorillaz and Hyalung, not really. Do you have a favorite burger and pizza restaurant? Burger King. Pizza, there's a local place in my hometown called The Cabin that I think has the best. As far as chains, Domino's, just because they have garlic on the crust. Do you have... Well, what kind of burgers and pizza do you like? Burgers, just bacon, pickle, ketchup, mustard, extra mustard. Pizza, anything meat. No pineapple, no anchovies, no onions. You know, I love anything from just pepperoni to pepperoni and ham, Hamburg sausage, you know, bacon, all that. Do you have a favorite animal, or maybe have a spirit animal, and if so, why? Apes. I've always loved apes and snakes. Those were always my favorite animals. Spirit animal, I'm not really sure. Apes, I just love how close we are to apes, but just how superior they are in so many ways, like just strength and everything. Powerful, just really awesome animals. And snakes just look cool, and just everything about snakes are just really neat. Have you played any Doom games? I've never been much of a gamer. I was when I was a kid, but I didn't play a lot of games, but the games I played a lot. Pretty sure that the answer is quite obvious, but what are your biggest pet peeves with the Batman fan base? Automatically assuming that someone hasn't read as many comics or read comics for as long as you because of a different opinion. You know, like when I say I don't like Batman v Superman, and I think it's one of the worst live action movies we've had, just because it's a colossal mess. It looks cool, yes. People say, well, actually, I suggest you read a comic because it's based on death in the family. Really? Because no, it fucking isn't. Yeah, it has the Robin suit after he was killed. Robin suit doesn't make an appearance in Death in the Family. That's one little tiny scene, which does not constitute as an adaptation or being based on. Just assuming that, like, well, you obviously don't know or like as much as I do, and insulting people's intelligence. Like, like again, I thought the scene in BVS, blank, was fucking stupid. Well, maybe watch it a couple more times, then come back to me. And also trying, like, desperately trying to, whenever something new comes out, like when the first still of Robert Pattinson's bat symbol came out, people were shitting the most acute detail, or like him with the cowl. They're like, you can see too much of his chin. This whole movie's gonna be garbage. That's another thing. The tiniest little infraction, the entire movie is garbage, trash, dumpster fire. Like his ears are a centimeter too short. The movie's trash. It's trash. I'm learning now that most fan bases are trash anyway. Very rarely will you find a fan base that's, you know, would rather celebrate and not try to be the one that, trying to be, you know, not be the biggest dick in the room. But yeah, there's too many pet peeves for the Batman fan base to list all of them, but those are some of the biggest ones. If you have enough money to travel all over the world, where would you like to be? Also, what would you do if you have like $1,000 to $1 billion? Well, that's a huge spread, 1,000 to 1 billion. All I know is that if I had a lot of money, I would pay off everything I have, make sure I'm comfortable, and go for my blood spatter a degree. and have enough money to totally decorate my new place the way I want it. That's all I'm thinking about right now. Travel, I've always wanted to go to Italy. I've always wanted to go to Germany. I've always wanted to go to Père Lachaise in Paris, see Jim Morrison's grave. A lot of the World War II type areas. Really, Europe. Norway, Netherlands. Of course, England as well, So, mostly Europe. Do you like the show called The Boys? If you haven't already checked it out, I haven't watched it. That's another shows it has to be something I'm either really already into or something that really piqued my interest. How stoked are you for the upcoming Batman Cape Crusader shows coming to HBO Max next year? I didn't know that was a thing, and I don't have HBO Max, so I'm not too excited. Haven't you already checked out Batman vs. TMNT? I have. I haven't read the books yet. I did see the animated film. I don't know why I haven't reviewed it yet. Do you have a favorite holiday? Halloween. So thank you, Karato Crusader, for your questions. Next is from Draz. He has 2. What are your top 5 Batman stories? I have a countdown for that. I will say my number 1, only because I don't remember my top 5, and I don't want to spend too much time thinking it. My number 1 favorite is The Long Halloween. That is the creme de la creme, best Batman story in my opinion. That's my favorite. But I do have countdown, I think, of my top 10 favorite stories. Not to blow your question off. What was the best movie you've seen in 2021? You mean like what came out in 2021? Well, I did just watch Pig with Nicolas Cage. That was one of the... Actually, no. Well, I did just see it, but it did come out in 2021. My favorite that came out that year was a film called Censor. It's a very good movie. Jello inspired. Yeah, I'd say Censor was my favorite of 2021. Pig was also very good, though. So yeah, thank you for your 2 questions. This is from R. Congratulations, thank you. What he has 4. What do your tattoos mean? These are just zombies, and this has more to do with like black magic and stuff. But the reason I got it was because it's like the main Led Zeppelin 4 symbol, and I've always been a huge Led Zeppelin fan. More so back in like high school when I got this when I was 18. But also, I'm the 4th generation of my family with the same name, so I thought that matched up. I liked that. How did you develop and beat your drinking problem? I'm just one of those people that was predisposed to alcoholism. It runs in my family. I used it to heal. I used it to numb. I used it to sleep till I needed it. And then I basically didn't quit for myself. I quit because, there was the family ultimatum. But I went to meetings. I started a journal. I found a hobby, which was reading comics. That kept me sane. I have another video about that. I can't remember the title of it, but something about how comics saved my life, which is pretty much about when I quit drinking. I don't think I get too much into how it developed, because I wasn't much of a... I would drink at parties in high school, but when I was 21, that was when I was using it to sleep. I was using it to feel numb. I hated my life. I hated where I was. And for 5 years, Jack Daniels every night till I blacked out and passed out just to sleep. And then you just gotta follow the steps, find what works. Uh, what are your favorite fiction books? So, oh, comic graphic novels aside, so novels. Um, Silence of the Lambs, Thomas Harris. I loved that book. Clockwork Orange. I say my favorite Stephen King book is Misery. I've read a lot of books that already have movies of them. Really like the American Psycho book. Fiction. Fiction. Yeah, those are some of my favorites. What's your dream job and what's stopping you from getting it? Bloodstain pattern analysis, forensics. The only thing stopping me is myself. I know I can go back to school. I know I can do it. I have the textbooks and what I need. I think it's just my own self-doubt. You know, me thinking about money, student loans, or how I'm going to pay for it. I know I'm terrible at math. It's not all like what you see on Dexter entirely. There's a lot of formulas and math that you have to know. Also, the possibility of having to like relocate. You know, I'm already stressed out about this move, and I move in 10 minutes down the road. So it's a dream job that I'd love to have, but really the only thing keeping me from getting it is myself. I'm too busy worrying about the harder stuff that's going to make it more difficult. But bloodstain pattern analysis has been my dream job for almost a decade, and I study it on my free time. But thank you for your questions. Darkness Demon 8, which I think has been in every Q&A I've done. Are you a history buff? If so, which era? Yep, I love World War II era. I like learning about prehistory too, like like even before Egypt, like also like Norse and Vikings, like way prehistory. It seems like we don't know a lot about. But most of the history I read is crime based, like history of the mafia, stuff like that. Are you a South Park fan? Yeah. I have the first 22 seasons on DVD. The first like 17, 18 seasons I had memorized. Like I would just say a reference during any conversation, and people would just like look at me, and I would say the name of the episode and the season. Just like, I've been told I watch South Park the way other people watch Lost. I've kind of fallen out of it in recent years, but yeah, for most of my life, like from season, I'd have been from season 7 up until season 6 or 7 up until 18 or 19, I'd say South Park was like my life. If you could learn another language, what would it be? German and Italian, foremost, those two. Then maybe French. Thank you for your questions. My friend Jammeral81, congratulations on 2K. Thank you very much. You got the best horror channel around. I hope so. Thank you. 1, do you plan on starting up your Patreon again or taking PayPal donations for review requests? The thing about that is I was getting worried about not being able to have time to do the reviews within the month. I didn't want people to feel like they were getting ripped off. I guess I had to get myself kind of more organized, but maybe someday. It's just not definite right now. Have you ever been to Canada? I've been to Nova Scotia, and I've been to the other side of the falls. Do you like 1980s glam metal? No, I don't. What was your favorite go-to drink when you did drink? Jack Daniels. Oops. Thoughts overall on director Sergio Martino? He is my favorite Italian filmmaker. His style is just... It's been a while since I've talked about Italian films now. I've kind of... I don't know. He's my favorite Italian filmmaker. You know, he doesn't have like the aesthetic of Argento or the rawness of Fulci. But just, I think it's also a mixture of Martino and the stuff he does with writer Ernesto Gastaldi. But he is my favorite Italian filmmaker. Do you like the Jackass movies and show? Yes, I do, and I did see Forever. I was going to review it, but I figured I would just be talking about my favorite bits, but I've always liked Jackass. Do you plan to do a live Q&A stream? Yeah, maybe when I move into my new place, I have, kind of my own area to do it, maybe. Is Jelly your favorite subgenre of horror now? No, I'd probably still say the monsters, like the 30s Universal monsters is my favorite, if you can call that a genre. If not, Jello's always been tied with slasher, because they're both... Where Jello is strong, slashers usually aren't, and vice versa. So, they've always kind of been tied for me. Do you like any type of sports, boxing, UFC, hockey, etc.? Not really. I've never been a sports guy at all, especially football, baseball, basketball. I couldn't give two shits about sports. I like movies about boxing, Raging Bull, The Fighter, $1 Million Baby, The Wrestler. But actually watching it or following it, no. Growing up, did you ever like WWE? No, I always thought it was laughable and stupid. Is A24 the best thing for horror movies right now? Yes, I would say things like A24 and IFC. I'll say independence in general is the best thing for horror right now. Specifically A24, yeah, they are putting out the best, in my opinion. Thoughts on the legacy of Ivan Reitman? Rest in peace. Yeah, he's another great one. He will be missed. Don't have too much to say about him. Ghostbusters will always be my favorite American comedy. So, but rest in peace, Ivan Reitman. I know you don't like action movies, but is there at least one action movie you enjoy? Like if we're talking action, like what everyone thinks about with action, like a Stallone or Schwarzenegger film or anything like that, not really. I mean, there's movies I like with action. Like you could probably say the newer Planet of the Apes films have action in them, or some like in their own way, maybe some like the Tarantino films. But really, like definitive action movies, no, there's really none that I'm interested in. Congrats on your channel's success. Thank you so much. David Gabriel, how did you become so passionated with horror movies? I grew up with horror. I mean, I learned how to read with Goosebumps. I watched Goosebumps as a kid, and then around probably 3rd or 4th grade, I discovered Stephen King, started reading him, watching his movies, and it just soared from... I've always loved spooky things anyway. And just horror always just grabbed me more than anything else, especially film-wise. And yeah, I don't know. which actually in school I was more about music. I was more about music than film, even though I did watch a lot of movies in school as well. But yeah, I grew up with it. It got into me when I was very young. Silent Outlaw. What's the most underrated metal band and the most overrated? Well, do you mean underrated and overrated in like a legit sense? Because some people will comment like it'll be a movie, a video about like The Exorcist, and it'll be like most underrated movie ever, which just means I really like this movie more than all of you. It's not underrated. The most underrated, Jesus, most overrated. I don't know. A metal is so broad as far as its subgenres and everything. I don't know if I could. Yeah, it's a tough one. Not sure. In your opinion, what's the most annoying trope in horror? Jump scares. Jump scares and exposition. Just, that's the worst. Does your family watch your videos? Probably not. If you could be a character in any movie, which one would it be? Dogs over there making weird noises. I feel like Robert De Niro in Taxi Driver a lot. Did you ever have any concerns or reservations when you started YouTube? No. No, not really. I don't know what I would have. And what's the biggest lesson you've learned during your time on here? Some trolls exist because trolls just like to be trolls. They have nothing else better to do. If you go in and you take out a bunch of keywords, like, like I made it, because I know I sniff a lot. I went in the settings and made it so like any word that is like synonymous with sniffing or sneezing, I made it so those words can't show up in comments. Since they can't do that anymore, they'll just dislike every video. Like, trolls exist because, you know, they just have to do it. That's probably the only real thing I've learned. What's your best advice for a new creator just starting out? Be as consistent as possible. Keep uploading. You'll probably have to do some videos and stuff you might not want to. Like, you might want to talk about more specific things that maybe you're really into, but you got to talk about some more mainstream stuff first so that it'll pop up when people search for it. Tags will also help, but most importantly, stay consistent. Not like a video every 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, do it as often as you can. I mean, there was a period where I was uploading 2 or 3 videos a night and 7 or 8 on the weekends. I really wanted to get myself out there. Do you have favorite food? Yes. Meat. My favorite thing to make is Italian chicken with stuffing. But, you know, I love wings, love pizza, love burgers, love a lot of pasta meals. Do you have a life philosophy? If so, what is it? I don't believe in anything. What's the scariest horror monster or villain in your opinion? Probably, without being really specific, a certain kind is the one that can exist in the real world. You know, something, you know, probably the reason why Jaws is so effective, because sharks are real. Yeah, I'm not sure what the scariest monster or villain would be. Do you have any embarrassing moments that you can share? Like, what do you mean? Like, embarrassing how? I sniff a bunch on camera already. That's pretty embarrassing. Or you mean like in general in my life? Probably. I just can't think of any. But thank you for your questions. Mike Barrett asks, congratulations on 2K subs. Thank you. He asked 5. He says, what were your top 5 Jello directors? Oh, people really like these top 5s. I don't like doing rankings and Q&As because I like to make them concise. And actually, think about them. Not in any order. Sergio Martino, Fulci, Argento, Lenzi, Bava. Wow. See? What are some of your favorite Jello actors and actresses? Actors, George Hilton, Luigi Pistoли. Oh, one guy, I can't remember his name. Jean Sorel. He's one of my favorites. There's another guy whose name I can't remember. Actresses, of course, Edwidge Fenech, Barbara Boucher, Dagmar Lasseter. Oh my God, why am I drawing a blank? I'm really tired. This should have been one of the first questions I looked at. Daria Nicolodi, all of her Argento collaborations. How did you get into watching Giallo and Italian films? I first saw Suspiria in high school. Then I saw Fulci Zombie and Cannibal Holocaust also in high school, or when I was in high school. And I just heard Italian cinema is its whole other world. And I just got really into it. The first Giallo I've seen. Oh, and then when I heard that Jello was, huge inspiration on slasher, which I loved, I wanted to check that out. And the first 2 I saw was Torso and Opera. And I really liked them, so I just got into it. What was the first film you saw at the theater? I think it's when I was like 4 or 5, and I went to go see Toy Story. Do you think it was going to be a Jello? Last question, top 5 Batman graphic novels. Again, I have a video for that. But my number 1 favorite is Long Halloween. All right. And then the last one is from Willie Nation. But congratulations, Room 237 for 2K subs. Thank you. What's the worst film you've ever seen? And also, what does the DVD menu for Grotesque look like? Worst movie I've ever seen? Jesus. I don't even think I can be that precise. I've commonly said Diary of a Cannibal by Uwe Lamel. That's got to be one of them. I mean, like, actually bad. Like, real piece of shit movies. Not just, like, I've had bigger rants. Like, there's movies like Bye Bye Man, ones like that are just terrible. But that's like mainstream bad. Then you have like Shot on Shitio bad, like Las Vegas Bloodbath. I would have to say the worst. I've always kind of considered Diary of a Cannibal to be the worst, but I'm not quite sure. And what does the DVD menu for Grotesque look like? The Japanese film? Play, chapters, setup. I don't remember. I think you've commented on my Grotesque review. I thought you had Grotesque. Do you think mine's different? I don't know. But anyway, wow, half hour. So thank you everyone so much for all your questions. Maybe every 500, maybe every 1,000, see how fast it grows. But yeah, these are always fun to do. I hope you all enjoyed it. So yeah, let's see how long it takes us to get to 3,000. And if you want to help keep supporting the channel, just keep hitting the like button, keep sharing, and just most importantly, keep watching. I know that sounded corny, but anyway, I thank you all so much.